You know, the dream is that we were riding our horses against the current of the oil. I didn't really know what it meant, but it was about, I assumed it was about the Keystone XL pipeline, because I had ridden horses with the Lakota. You know, I'm a horse rider, but you know, not since I have a little injury, you can say not the best. But you know, so I rode my horses, and I assumed that it was there, and I told them about it, and they said, you know, we're gonna have some ceremonies, and think about what you said, because the horses have power. The hooves have power when they dance on the earth. It's just like a buffalo. There's that power of those animals. You know, of any major migratory herd, a caribou herd, the earth hears that. And it's, you know, it's like this resonance that is created. And that is what I dreamed about. And that's a sacred, you know, it's a resonance of life. And it was against the current to not let that come this way. And so for 2 years now, we've ridden our horses. You know, I rode a lot on the Clipper route, and I rode also on the Keystone. No, I didn't ride the Keystone. I went to the Keystone XL route. The first day it blew me out. I was like, I'm not doing that. But I was like, how are you going to get a pipeline through there if you can't even ride it on a horse? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. How are you going to get a pipeline through the Badlands and then take care of it if you can't even get through there on a horse? You know, that's kind of the question I got in Minnesota. How are you going to get a pipeline through there if you can't even get through there? You know? And then the other thing, and then we rode the proposed Sandpiper road. So this is our 3rd year of riding. The other story I'm going to tell you is that, you know, last year I went to Washington, D.C. I was asked to go out for the Cowboys and Indians Alliance to support the people opposing the Keystone XL pipeline. And so we went out there and we rode horse with those guys. And we had a teepee on the Washington Mall. And a super cool teepee. It was on the Washington Mall, and we were hanging out at our teepee in the Washington Mall, and my sons were hanging out. And Neil Young came in my teepee on the Washington Mall, and Daryl Hannah was on my teepee on the Washington Mall. I actually have a picture of me, Daryl Hannah, and Neil Young in our cool Honor the Earth t-shirt. My cool Honor the Earth t-shirt. But anyway, this guy sticks his head in the teepee, and he says, Ms. LeDuc, would you like to go for a ride? And I'm looking at this guy, my 2 15-year-old sons are in the teepee going, no, Mom, you're not going to go for a ride with that older white guy. And I'm thinking, like, that is such a strange thing to say to someone. You know, it's like a pickup line from the 80s, would you like to go for a ride in my car? And he's like, and I'm looking at him, and he says, would you like to go for a ride in my car? And I was like, he said, it's a Tesla. And I said, yes, I would like to go for a ride in your Tesla. So the point is I walked out of my teepee into this 4-door red Tesla. The guy powered it on solar panels in his house, you know, and he could get 250 miles on it, and no combustion engine. And so that's what I want. I want to walk out of my teepee into a Tesla. And I think that's what we got to demand. You don't want second-class technology. This stuff is second class. We have first class technology, and we're a first world country. That's what we need, is we need to be able to have electric engines. And you know, we need to power them on solar and wind. And we need to have more efficiency. You know, 65% efficiency is way better than 16% efficiency.
Great. I have one question.
Yeah. Whoa, the camera woman gets to ask.
Yeah, there she goes. You kind of already answered it, but I just clear, cut, and dry. Like, why do you oppose the pipeline, and what do you want to see happen?
Perfect. Hold on. I oppose the Enbridge expansions because they entirely benefit the Enbridge Corporation. They don't benefit Minnesota. And the reason they don't benefit us is that first of all, you already got 6 lines in. You're trying to put in 2 up to 4 new lines in this new corridor, bust through a brand new corridor at our best watersheds, at our best wild rice lakes. Put everything at risk. Scientific American editor says 57% chance of catastrophic accident on a pipeline. Enbridge says 99% free, protection. Scientific American says 57% chance of a catastrophic accident. We don't have a shot at that. So I'm opposed to dirty oil in my water. You know, I'm not opposed to pipelines. I believe that pipeline fitters, the pipeline unions, Local 49, every one of those guys should be put to work taking out Line 3. You know, that'd be a lot of work, a lot of employment, cleaning up all the pipeline problems we already have and putting in new pipeline infrastructure. I'm all for pipelines, just not these pipelines. And I also don't believe that Enbridge should be allowed to abandon Line 3 with no regulatory scheme. The state of Minnesota, and nobody has an idea how to abandon a pipeline. Enbridge said in the public hearing they would take care of it in perpetuity. They're a 65-year-old corporation. City of Duluth has been here longer than them, and we've been here 8,000 years. I have no security, and you're in perpetuity. And it is not clear under state or federal law what abandonment means. It appears that abandonment may return the ownership of the actual liability to the landowner. And that's a lot of liability for northern Minnesotans to assume for a pipeline. So I'd like to be cautious. I'd like a little caution here, and the state of Minnesota needs to have that caution, and regulatory authorities and City of Duluth, we need some caution. We don't need to be doing things for Canadian oil companies. So, thanks, that was a good question.
Thank you. Yeah.